Joe, the Jimmy Butler saga continues. However, from the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they have some resolution. G3.
Yeah.
So, here are the terms of the deal that sends Jimmy Butler to the Sixers. Minnesota is acquiring Dario Saric, Robert Covington, and Jared Bayless, who is pretty much a throw-in, and a future consideration, which I believe you said was a future second-round pick
In 2020.
in 2020, which could actually bring some value also. It may be a late, I believe in second-round picks, so I'm not even going to look at it like it's a bad pick. If you know what you're doing, you can steal something in the second round.
Especially if it's early in the second round.
Right. I mean, Knicks just stole Alonzo Trier from, undrafted. Mitchell Robinson in the second round. Both of those guys are getting minutes now. And going to the Sixers in the deal is Jimmy Butler and Justin Patton.
Justin Patton is out right now with the injury. He hasn't played so far this season, but I think he's a big man that Philadelphia was coveting. They needed some help in their front court.
So let's look at least these two teams now and how this trade is going to affect them. I like what Minnesota was able to get in this. I'm a believer in Saric. All right? I believe Saric is a very, very poor man's Ben Simmons, in the sense that he really needs the ball in his hands and he's more point forward than spot up shooter. And playing with Ben Simmons, he was not able to actually use his skill set. He started to become more of a shooter because obviously that's what the team needed. So with Minnesota now, without Butler, you're looking at Teague, Wiggins, Saric, Gibson, and Towns.
Yes.
I like that five. They're losing Butler's toughness and his ability to create a shot for himself and his defense.
Yeah.
But Saric can give you a little something. It's going to be a little bit of a change of style, but those boys didn't really want to go hard anyway. So I'm not sure. I don't know how that's going to work. Are they going to sink to the bottom, or will they maintain? Covington obviously is a good fit as a 3 and D.
Yes.
Does he start and Saric come off the bench? Or possibly Saric play the 4 and Towns play the 5? I would like that, actually.
That works.
That works. And then you could bring Gibson and Dang and Georgie Dang off the bench at your 4 and 5 off the bench. But
and you're forgetting your boy Derrick Rose.
And Derrick Rose, that's a nice bench.
So
that's a nice bench. And from the Sixers end, I don't think that this improves them significantly. Because if they're looking up in the East at Toronto, at Boston, at Milwaukee, and they were considered to be the 4th best team, I think they're still the 4th best team.
Yeah. I don't even know if they're number 4. It might be 5. But with that being said, for me, just getting away from just what assets were traded and should they have traded them or not, it does work, I think, for Minnesota. Saric is not afraid to play. He's not afraid to shoot the ball.
Right.
He's tough, even though he's young.
And he's strangely enough, and again, I know most of our American NBA fans don't follow the international game. Saric is a team leader.
Yeah.
He's a team leader, and he was leading teams, as a very young man playing on the national team. I'm not sure if it's Croatia. It might be Croatia. But, he was leading teams at 17, 18, 19 years old. So he's a leader. And I think he's about to get a chance to show that.
He will, and the reason he will is because they have a weird dynamic with the Timberwolves. It's kind of hard for me to tell who is the actual leader anyway. And I feel like when Jimmy Butler went out there, I think that's what he was trying to do. But the personalities, Wiggins seems like he should lead, but he's not, in my opinion.
Not at all.
Yeah, and then Karl Towns, he's a good player,
Right.
but he's still young. So it'd be interesting if you get a guy that's kind of like Sark. Like Sark didn't hesitate to take a shot, shoot a layup, just
Right.
call a play. So I think this
Right.
might be actually a good fit for them. They also get some defensive help off
Right.
the bench with your boy Covington.
Well, the positive for the Timberwolves here in losing Jimmy Butler is they recover some depth. Because now when you add these three to the existing rotation, and Bayless can give you minutes, adding these three to the existing rotation gives Minnesota some depth. How that washes out when it comes to wins and losses, it's going to be hard to tell. But they didn't recover Levine and Dunn, but this is a good deal.
It might be the best they could do. Now, if we get to Philly, the thing for them, depth is the thing you're talking about. I think they lost some depth.
They definitely lost. Depth.
You're essentially in a position now. Your bench is not as deep anymore. Of course, Jimmy Butler can play. You hope that everybody stays intact, but they have some guys that are a little bit injury prone. You got Fultz is a little injury prone. Embiid has had some issues. Jimmy Butler's had some issues, and you literally are one injury away from being back in the process again. So hopefully they can stay healthy. But even with a healthy squad, I really don't see how they're better than the Celtics, the Bucks, or the Raptors.
Right.
They'll compete. They might win a couple games. Jimmy can, in a playoff series, can maybe get you one or two wins based upon him exploding because he's a good player.
Right.
But I don't really know if they got any better. I wonder if they.
Well, Ben Simmons provides a good dynamic in combination with Jimmy Butler because of it's going to be question. You're not going to know who's guarding who.
Yeah.
You're not going to know who's guarding who. Other than Embiid guarding the opposing five, you don't know where Simmons is going to be. Jimmy Butler in today's NBA can be a 4. So you have no idea who they're going to be matched up with and how that's going to work. So
Philly still has the same issues that I thought before. And I just want to know who's going to be able to hit a shot. I know Redick can hit a shot. Jimmy Butler can hit a shot. Embiid plays, he plays his role. But I don't know where they're going to get the other scoring from unless it's a layup or something. So, but then now the other aspect of this trade that really kind of threw me off, I just really hate to see teams that are trying to rebuild and they get to a point where they're like almost right there, maybe a piece away, and they take those pieces and just trade them off thinking that they're going to like get something right now. So you get a high price guy that you now got to pay. He's a little bit older. And in essence, you made your team older.
And you might have to re-sign him.
Right. And they are. They have no choice now. So you're looking at paying him, what, $190, I think, with the bird rights for like 5 years. So I don't know. If for the short term, I think it's good for the fan base. But as far as like winning the championship, you're going to need a little bit more than Butler. Now, in Philly's defense, Philly was on the active market trying to get free agents to come in. And they had a hard time doing that last year. So I feel like they thought this is an opportunity for them to step out, grab somebody while he's available, and then make it happen. Now, here's another thing that I thought about just off the top of my head. So I thought the Spurs wanted Saric, at a point when they wanted to get rid of Kawhi Leonard. And I think at the time, I didn't think Philly was offering him from what I read and heard. Right. And I was wondering to myself, I was like, man, if they were just going to give up Sark like that in a second round draft pick, I wonder if the Spurs might have taken something like that. And they could have had Kawhi instead of Jimmy.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that happen in this dynamic, but I think it seems like a win-win as far as like making your team a little bit better right now. But I think Philly, they got a little work to do. They got to fill that bench out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about this trade. Who wins? What do you think these teams are going to look like now after these additions and subtractions? Also, of course, remember, please subscribe, like, comment, and definitely share with your friends.